What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracka, episode 27, part 5. It's a whole hand. Oh yeah. In the last part, I had the heavy hitters of the 80s, most of them anyway. This part, I'm going to go over the heavy hitters with the video game cartoons. The last part I said was mostly 80s, but actually, the video game cartoons, I just realized they're mostly in the 90s, so my bad. The first couple ones are from the 80s, but 90s and so forth. Another thing I just learned as I was making the this part, actually, after I made the old part, that Michael Bay now is involved with the new Ninja Turtles movie that's supposed to come out in 2013 or something like that. Yeah. See, it wouldn't be bad if he wasn't going to fuck around with them, but of course, Hollywood and Michael Bay always got to ruin shit. Always got to ruin it. I saw his little video that he made about how he's making the Turtles. Now, when he made Transformers, like I said, I'm probably going to get crucified for this, but I didn't mind the Transformers movie. I didn't mind it. You know, the first two are pretty cool. Third one, yeah, but I didn't mind it. I let it slide because it wasn't really like the cartoon, but what can you do? You don't fuck with the Turtles. Everyone loved the Ninja Turtles, and they still do, and of course, Michael Bay wants to make them aliens now, instead of, mutated turtles, so it'd be like ninja alien turtles or whatever the hell. Oy. I could hear like huge fans in the background when that happened, having a heart attack, gasping, "No!" Then he's got balls, and he makes another video or a saying, whatever it was, saying that he's got telling the fans that they have to relax and trust him. You got to be kidding me! Like I said, I guess he's trying to corner the market on 80s cartoons, but you just don't mess with the Turtles, and if you do, you're gonna have people coming after you, probably. I mean, you're going to have fans probably finding out where you live and waiting outside to beat your ass with a Ninja Turtle mask on. But anyway, that being said, like I said, I don't want to really bash anything. But he claims he's trying to keep it like the fans like it, but yet he's making them aliens. So who knows? Michael Bay, you can be a real dick because you're a greedy SOB. And you don't really care about the fans, you care about the money. Anyway, moving on to the video game heavy hitters. So take a look at these intros, and like always, I'll be back afterwards to talk about them. So enjoy.
Hey, paisanos! It's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers. Treat, so hang on to your seat. Get ready for adventure and remarkable feats. You'll meet the Koopas, the Troopers, the Princess, and the others. Hanging with the plumbers, you'll be hooked on the brothers to the bridge.
The Triforce of Power. Whoever gets both Triforces will rule this land forever. You must help me, Link.
Hey, for you, Zelda, anything!
Hey, excuse me, princess.
Welcome to Videoland.
Kitty Chris.
It's cargo land. By the mind will get you, little princess.
Princess, the palace is under siege.
Behold, the ultimate warp zone.
Kevin, I thought I told you to clean up your room.
Captain N, the Game Master.
Disappeared and Mother Brain tried to take over Videoland. Our only hope lay in an ancient prophecy that a great warrior from another world would come to our rescue. I admit, I was a bit skeptical when Kevin showed up. But now, I don't know how we'd ever get along without him.
And now, Captain N and the Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3.
When my father disappeared and Mother Brain tried to take over Videoland, our only hope lay in an ancient prophecy that a great warrior from another world would come to our rescue. I admit, I was a bit skeptical when Kevin showed up. But now, I don't know how we'd ever get along without him.
It is a legend no one will forget. Everyone thought King Koopa had left the Mushroom Kingdom. And then his doom ship attacked. King Koopa was back with the greatest danger ever known. His Koopa kids. Using their new superpowers, the Super Mario Brothers rescued Princess Toadstool and beat back the evil Koopa family. Kingdom Flourish.
Super Mario World. Super Mario World. It's a blast from the past. In Super Mario World, you got to move fast. Mario and Luigi are doing what they can. Yoshi and the princess are giving them a hand. Super Mario World. Super Mario World. It's a blast from the past. In Super Mario World, it's a blast!
And now back to the Power Team.
A dragon, you gotta be strong, humble, never bragging. Always fight for right, battling wrong with the power of the dragon. Live the code of the dragon. Fight for right, the might of the dragon. With the mark of the dragon. Live the code of the dragon.
Never intentionally harm another. Do not battle if you can avoid it. You, Billy, a Dragon Master now.
Dragon Master. master was born with the mark of the double dragon. Live the code of the dragon. Fight for right, the might of the dragon. With the mark of the dragon. Live the code of the dragon.
Fighting robot, Mega Man. 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 Fighting robot, Mega Man.
Colonel William Guile, one of the greatest martial artists in the world, travels the global tournament circuit, using it to conceal his top-secret mission as leader of an elite group of international crime fighters known only by their code name, Street Fighter. The heroic man-beast, Blanca, hard-kicking fighting machine, Chun-Li. And the team of the most amazing warriors ever seen have joined forces with Guile to combat the criminal empire of Shadaloo and its superhuman leader, Bison. They have their own code of honor, discipline, justice, commitment, and together they will triumph against the forces of evil. Street Fighter!
Much has changed since the last Mortal Kombat tournament. Dark forces of Outworld have begun invading the Earth realm. These attacks are seriously weakening Earth's dimensional fabric, enabling not only Outworlders to enter the Earth realm, but warriors from other domains as well. Only the most extraordinary warriors could possibly meet this challenge. Liu Kang, Princess Kitana, Sub-Zero, Jax, Sonya Blade, Nightwolf, Kiva, Curtis Stryker. Driven by purpose and bound by honor, these are the defenders of the realm.
Do the Mario. Good little catchphrase they had there. Fun little dance. I tried to put these in somewhat of an order of how they came out, year after year or whatever, and so on and so forth. That's why when you watch it, you see, Mario and then Zelda and then Captain N and then Mario again and stuff like that. Basically, what they did, the first intro you saw was from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which, as you can see, I have the DVDs. Yay! And the first intro was basically a live action segment, and it had Captain Lou Albano play Mario. And if you're an old schooler like me, you know he was a wrestler in the WWF at the time and WWE as a wrestler, and then he was a manager. And he did a pretty good Mario. He really did. Then the second part that you saw in the intro is basically the intro for the cartoon section of the show, which was cool because the live action thing would last a couple minutes, and then they'd have the intro for the cartoon, and the cartoon would last. And the cartoon basically went over, but it was basically Super Mario Brothers 1 and Super Mario Brothers 2 games combined into the show. And that actually it was from Monday to Thursday, which was cool because when I was a kid, I remember in elementary school, I used to run home just in time to catch it. And then what they did, the next intro you saw was Legend of Zelda, because on Fridays they would have Zelda. Basically, they would have the Super Mario Bros. Super Show intro, and then on Fridays it would, instead of the cartoon Mario intro, they would show the Zelda intro. Confusing, yes, but I have Zelda as well. That's right. I'm just a big kid. Then what they would do on Saturdays, because they had the whole week covered, and Nintendo being the freaking genius that they are, God bless them, because they really knew how to work it. They figured, hey, we got Monday through Friday taken care of with Zelda games and Mario games. What do we do now? They came out with Captain N, the Game Master, for Saturdays. That was the next intro you saw, which was Season 1 and then Season 2 after that. On those particular ones right there, like I said, the Mario show was actually pretty cool. Like I said, I'm actually the Atari generation, but I'm also the Nintendo generation. So I made it just at the end of Atari and then the whole thing of the original Nintendo. Now, with this show, kids that are probably, if they're watching, they're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? You have to be an old school person like me to fully grasp the whole thing and really enjoy it. But maybe you'll see stuff that you actually, like I said, you'll like on here and go watch it for yourself and say, that's pretty cool. That's my whole purpose and goal in this particular episode. But anyway, moving on. The Zelda cartoon I love too. I used excuse me, princess. I used to love doing that all the time in school, in elementary school. Whenever anything happened and I bumped into somebody, I would just do that like a little bastard. But I just loved it. And Captain N was awesome because Captain N had like a whole diverse characters. It had Mega Man, Simon Belmont, Kid Icarus, and Alana, the video game queen, whatever. I don't know where she came from. I think she was made up for the show. But they had King Hippo, Mother Brain, stuff like that. What's crazy is if you saw the show when it came out, like back in they all came out in 1989. And they all pretty much lasted just the one season, but we'll get into that. If you watch the shows, especially Captain N back then when they came out, they had, like if they had a chase scene or something, they put in 1980s music that would kind of coincide with what they're doing. Like for instance, when in one of the episodes, Kevin goes to Castlevania and he's got to run through Castlevania and he's fighting like this guy that bullied him, and they're playing the Thriller music, which was interesting as hell. And like I said, this is where it gets even more interesting is the fact that nowadays, because of copyright and all that crap, when you get the DVDs, which they shouldn't have messed around with, but of course they did because everyone's got to have their money. All the songs that are in here are either completely cut out or they're redone and they're just sad. Like for instance, this on the same episode on the DVD with Castlevania, it's not even in there. The song is just like a background kind of music to it. Okay, what more? Anyway, and then after that was Super Mario Brothers 3. Like I said, Nintendo, the genius that it is. The problem with Zelda and Mario is it was failing, I guess. I mean, I love the shows. I thought they were cool. And Captain N was kind of doing better than the other ones. So when the Wizard came out and introduced Super Mario Brothers 3, they decided, hey, you know what? We're gonna cut the whole week thing off, get rid of it. So they got rid of the Super Show for Mario, and they made a Super Mario Brothers 3 cartoon, and they combined it with Captain N on Saturdays. Like you see, like in the also on Captain N the season 2, and also when they combined Captain N and Mario, they introduced Game Boy, because that's exactly when Game Boy pretty much came out. The original Game Boy with black and white, big huge mother. Which I guess they figured they'll try to push it that way, which is, like I said, Nintendo genius. They really marketed it really well. Like I said, then they had the Super Mario Brothers 3, which wasn't doing too bad with Captain N, considering it was only on Saturdays. I guess they figured the whole weekend was just kind of killing them. And again, with the marketing, if you went to McDonald's back then when Mario Bros. 3 came out, when it debuted on the Wizard movie, and then they ran with the cartoon, they had the Happy Meals, like I talked about in an earlier thing, with the Muppet Babies. I still have one of these. See, this actually came in a Nintendo Happy Meal. It's a little jumper Mario with his raccoon tail. He'd bounce around. So, old school. Another thing, a little fun fact to get into. Super Mario 3 came out in 1990. That's pretty much when Season 2 of Captain N was getting to. Captain N was originally supposed to be called Captain Nintendo. And the pilot episode was actually Kevin in Nintendo Land, but Nintendo figured it was way too much of a blatant kind of thing, a push, I guess, so they shortened Captain N. But like I said, I have a lot of facts on this stuff, so bear with me on all this stuff. It's kind of a mess, and I try to get it together, but if anyone knows me, I'm a wreck sometimes. But anyway, moving on. Then they made, in 1991, Mario 3 pretty much went bye-bye because I guess everyone had enough of Super Mario. And Captain N was kind of teetering. And in 1991, when Super Nintendo was around and Mario World came out as huge as it was, of course, what did Nintendo do? They put out Super Mario World cartoon, and they teamed that with Captain N, which was on Saturdays. Now the thing that's a vicious, this is why I don't like Nintendo, not Nintendo in general, but I guess marketing and certain DVDs especially. Mario World wasn't too bad, but Captain N was kind of starting to suffer. So Mario World was like kind of holding that one up. It's kind of a weird teeter-totter kind of thing. But what pisses me off is when I got the DVD, this is supposed to be the complete series of Captain N. They technically had 3 seasons. This only has the first 2 seasons in it. The evil bastards. And what they did now with the DVD, which I just found out because I was trying to figure out when I saw this when I was a kid, I'm like, this is missing stuff, and I couldn't figure out why. They put out a Mario World Captain N box set, which has the missing episodes of Captain N. There were 7 of them, and that's pretty much what compiled season 3. Was pretty much 7 episodes because right then and there, Mario World and Captain N were just kind of like they were just done. I guess people were just done with them, and Game Boy on the show was friggin' annoying. I mean, like I said, I give Nintendo credit for marketing it that way, but the Nintendo character, the Game Boy character on Captain N was just really just pissed me off. Simon was actually my favorite. Simon Belmont was kind of fun. But anyway, moving on. Another one that came out in 1990, like I said, I tried to keep it in order, was a thing called Video Power. And what it was is, this is another weird kind of thing how they did things. It was originally a cartoon called the Power Team, but it was Video Power, and the actual thing was called Power Team, which you saw the intro. What it did is it was kind of failing, but they also had live action to it right after the cartoon. Like it would blend like the Mario show, or how they even did Captain N with the live character going into the cartoon. But what they did is the live action guy was called Johnny Arcade, and basically all he did was he would give you hints and tips on certain Nintendo games or Genesis games that came out during the time. Like he would tell you how to complete Ghosts and Goblins, or how to get through a certain boss on Mega Man, or whatever it was. When the cartoon started to fail, like I said, they introduced the live action thing, and then that kind of started to fail. So what they did was they made it into a game show, and basically Johnny Arcade stayed on, but he was the host of the game show. And what it was is they would have 3 contestants that would answer video game questions, like what's the Legend of Zelda, who's the hero, even though it's Link. Some kids would say Zelda, but it's Link. And if you got it right and made it to the end, you would run through this huge maze with like a Velcro suit on, and you would grab Nintendo video games and you would stick them to your Velcro suit. And if you made it to the end of the maze, you actually kept what you grabbed. Cool. And in between the commercials and the actual live action thing, they would actually show the cartoon, the Power Team, which had like the Wizards and Warriors guy, the guy from Narc, it was a Double Dribble, I think it was called, Bigfoot. Also just, it wasn't too bad of a cartoon. I mean, it wasn't great, and Johnny Arcade, he wasn't too bad, I guess, especially with tips anyway, but it failed miserably and only lasted a season. Moving on. The next one was Sonic the Hedgehog, which came out in 1993 to 1994. Very interesting. I love the show. I mean, I know they have the newer ones out now, but the old one was awesome because it was gritty and like, not evil, but it was cool. And fun fact for that, Jaleel White, I can't even say his name, who played Steve Urkel, actually was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. See, lots of fun facts. Right after that one was Double Dragon, which was 1993, 1994. Wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't great. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool, but it didn't last long. After that was Mega Man, which was 1994 to 1995. But like before I even get into that, I'll show you Sonic and Mega Man. Gotta show you the DVDs. I keep forgetting I have them. Anyway, Mega Man was a cool show too. I mean, it had 2 seasons. It was just like the game. He destroys the robot, he takes their power, and so on and so forth. Very cool. After that was Street Fighter. So you got the DVDs. Which was cool because it came out in 1995, it was 1997. It basically picked up right where the Street Fighter movie left off. With Colonel Guile, like, running around, kind of, like, secretive and, getting other Street Fighters together to help save the world and so on and so forth. It actually was cool. I actually would think that this was almost better than the, obviously it was better than the movie, but this is the way the movie should have been, you know, with the actual sonic booms and everything. Anyway, carrying on. After that was Mortal Kombat, Defenders of the Realm. Another very cool one. Like I said, I apologize for the like I said, the blurriness of that, but it's the best I could do. I try to get stuff done. But anyway, Mortal Kombat was another one that basically picked up right after where the first movie left off. And then, of course, the second movie came out and ruined everything, but I'm not going to get into that because we've done that already. But anyway, cartoon wasn't too bad. It was kind of had a lot of voice actors that were just, you're like, wow. Like Luke Perry did the voice of Sub-Zero, where he's from 90210. Clancy Brown, who most people know as Lex Luthor from the the Superman animated series, Justice League, stuff like that. He played Raiden. Ron Perlman, most people know from as Hellboy. He played Curtis Stryker. Brian Tochi, who not many people know, but some people do. He played Liu Kang. He was best known, I guess, for Revenge of the Nerds, Police Academy, and of course the voice of Leonardo in the movie in the Ninja Turtles. Got that, Michael Bay, you son of a bitch. Anyway, and then there was Olivia Diabo, or I can't say her last name, but she's pretty well known. She was the sister in the show The Wonder Years. She played Kevin's sister, Fred Savage's sister, or whatever it was, and she was Sonya Blade. But she does a lot of voice work. You know, you can any Justice League show you pick up. She was like Star Sapphire and all these things, but I'm not get too much into that because we got so much more to do. But anyway, moving on. I don't know if I'm probably gonna call this the end of part 5, and I'm gonna tell you to come back for part 6, because part 6 we're gonna go over more of the, like I said, the old school cartoons, which I really should have named the episode "Old School Cartoons" instead of just "Old School Saturday Morning Cartoons." But hey, I'm only half human. Anyway, come back for part 6, and I'm gonna show you some of the kick-ass '90s cartoons that I loved when I was a kid, and then I'll show you the heavy hitters of the '90s. Come back for part 6.